Joining us for more on this, Republican Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas. You were at yesterday's classified briefing on China and the efforts to invade our airspace. I just want to play for you from John Tester, because there is bipartisan concern. Listen here.
The bottom line is this: they invaded our airspace. Our airspace they invaded. That is unacceptable. But the fact is, it was inappropriate behavior, and we need to respond in a way that shows them we don't stand for inappropriate behavior.
I mean, it's rare that you get such bipartisan agreement, Senator.
Yeah, Dana, where the Biden administration has handled this entire balloon episode so poorly that you have bipartisan agreement. The briefing yesterday was an alarming report on the state of China's military and the threat it poses to Taiwan and to our allies in the Western Pacific and ultimately to America's interests. That's why President Biden's reaction to this spy balloon is so alarming and dangerous for the American people. I mean, now you have Kamala Harris saying that it shouldn't affect relationships. Joe Biden said it wasn't a major breach to fly a spy balloon all across the United States. You even have administration officials out excusing China and apologizing for them, saying, well, they only meant to fly it over Guam and Hawaii, but a wind took it off course. Well, Dana, it must have been one heck of a wind to blow it all the way to Alaska and then down the continental United States and just coincidentally blow it over our nuclear missile fields and command and control sites. It's astonishing that the Biden administration is trying to turn the page on all this, act like it never happened, apologize for Chinese communists. What they need to do is take a firm stand and make clear that we will not tolerate this kind of aggression from the Chinese communists.
Senator Mitch McConnell just told Dana 15 minutes ago, coming out of that classified briefing, they don't seem to know anything. That was his quote. If you go through the transcript of the pilots over Lake Huron over the weekend, they talked about it's hard to locate. The sun was strong, catching them in their eyes. But they indicated that this object, whatever it was, and they couldn't identify it, by the way. I don't even know if they called it a balloon, in fact. But they said it was smaller than the size of a car. So if you're flying at 20, 25,000 feet, that's a speck in the atmosphere. Can you illuminate us a bit more on what these were?
No, Bill, unfortunately, I really can't. This is why I think it's so important that Joe Biden come out and speak on camera to the American people today. I mean, Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister, did that last weekend. Surely we're not in a situation where Justin Trudeau, of all people, is a more decisive and forceful leader than the American president. And it's especially important that the president speak to the American people before he leaves to go overseas later this holiday weekend. I mean, the American people deserve answers from our president about exactly why he treated these balloons as he did, why he took the actions he did, especially why he allowed the first one, which is clearly a Chinese spy balloon, to float on its merry way all across America when we had it in our sights and could have easily downed it off the Aleutian Islands.
Senator, another worldwide issue, of course, has been COVID, and we just found out that the World Health Organization quietly shelved its investigation into the origins of the pandemic. And this has repercussions that we are still dealing with, especially with learning loss, for example, or those experiencing long COVID. Now that these leaders are going to get together, is it time for some changes, perhaps, to the WHO?
Yeah, this is really just an extension of what we've been discussing, Dana. I mean, the World Health Organization is in the pocket of the Chinese communists. They were never going to be trustworthy to identify the origins of the coronavirus. As I've said from the very beginning, despite the caterwauling of liberals in the media, it almost certainly originated in labs the Chinese government runs in Wuhan. And just like the WHO wanted to make that conclusion, the Biden administration has turned itself into pretzels trying to avoid pinning the blame where it belongs on the Chinese Communist Party. It's just one more example of how they apologize for China, they appease them, they excuse their behavior, all to try to maintain the same kind of smooth relationship that Joe Biden has always advocated with our worst adversary in the world.
Senator Tom Cotton, thank you. Sounds like a busy day there at the Capitol. We'll let you get back to it.
Thank you, Senator. We'll talk again.